Happy Workers' Day and happy 1 year of midday discourse on global television. My name is Samuel Odi, and today we'll be bringing you top stories of the Economic European Forum, World Economic Forum, and speech said by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in regards or in line with the subsidy removal. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said at the World Economic Forum that the removal of subsidy was needed because Nigeria was going bankrupt, and the removal of subsidy is going to help with the restructuring plan for the country. This is in line with his agenda to restructuring Nigerians' economy and making her number one, our top economy in the country in West Africa. So today I'll be introducing my guest shortly, who would help us throw more light on the need, why the subsidy removal was made, and how far we've gone with the restructuring plan of Mr. President. So we're hoping while we'll be going on a short break, when we come back, I'll be introducing my guest in the person of Mr. Larry Toluhi, who will be throwing more light on this topic. Do stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global Television. My name is Samuel Odi, and happy Workers' Day and happy 1 year anniversary to Global Television, and happy 1 year anniversary as well to Midday Discourse. Yes, we've been discussing a whole lot of important topic issues here, you know, from overseas and locally, issues that are relating to public and have interest to the public as well. So we will be looking at the subsidy removal and the restructuring plan of Mr. President, the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. At this time, I'll be, with no further ado, I'll be introducing my guest in the person of Mr. Larry Toluhi, who is an economist and also a public affairs analyst. Mr. Toluhi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Samuel, and good afternoon, everyone at home. Happy Workers' Day to everybody, and happy anniversary to Global TV and Midday Discourse. I wish you greater and many more years to come.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Happy Workers' Day to you too. So, what is your reaction to, let's dive into the conversation. What is your reaction to the speech by Mr. President saying that he needed to remove fuel subsidy for the economy to blossom? And he said Nigeria was going bankrupt due to the monies that are being paid for subsidy. So what's your reaction to that?
Excuse me. My reaction is, look, like we've discussed severally, removal of fuel subsidy is key. It has always been a very important thing. But the truth or the true nature is, they really remove subsidy. Are they going to do an underground thing? And like you said, you know, the last time we discussed this and when we talked about this, when they were talking about student loan, and I said, the president's family personally run Oando, right? It's a family business. And we have a company called Sahara Energy Limited. These companies have said that there have never been a first subsidy, and the first subsidy is something that is not right, that is something that is not what people think it is. They said, and the Nigerian House of Rep actually have this report with them. So when they talk about first subsidy, I always ask the question, what is this first subsidy? What is this thing? Why is this thing not so clear? Why is it so evasive? Why is it so elusive to Nigerians to see? Why is it not clear for us to see? Because Oando and Sahara had said that what they've been paid has just been money. They've been paid money to move fuel, crude oil, to the refiners somewhere, and they've not been paid subsidy money, which I know the president family-run Oando. Now, when they tell us that they've removed subsidy, and in that same report, it shows that as at before May 29, 2023, when the president took over power, the report is saying that NNPC is making a profit of at least 100 naira per liter of fuel that is being sold. And there is no subsidy, because there is subsidy, you won't be making profit. Now they said they've removed subsidy. Now, what are you removing? I thought the president would have actually come into office, understand what is happening, probe what needs to be probed, understand or audit what is happening. And he's an accountant by profession. A lot of things that he should have worked with based on his professional, as a professional accountant. Now, based on the fact that he had worked in the oil sector before, based on the fact that his family run an oil servicing company, he should have actually studied this as the president of Nigeria before removing the subsidy. Because what I'm saying is, what money are they removing? Who were the ones benefiting from this? Have they done what they needed to do? Has they needed to be done, be done? So when he's talking about removing subsidy and telling Nigeria, trying to take Nigeria out of bankruptcy, have they really done that? Okay, the funds that he said they have really removed, okay, accepted there is a subsidy. If there were a subsidy, or if there was a subsidy, now the money that has been removed, the money that has been saved from subsidy, which is close to a year now, because it took over in May 29, 2003. This is 1st of May 2024. So in matter of days, or a matter of weeks, he will be 1 year in office. What have they saved for that week? For that 1 year, what have they saved? What have they channeled the funds into? Are Nigerians better off than where they were before, prior to May 29, 2023? Are we better off, or are we not? So we need to do this self examination, this self assessment, and tell ourselves truthfully what the thing is. So it's not about the president talking about saving Nigeria, or Nigeria will have done this, Nigeria will have done this. You see, these things are things that are glaring. These things are things that can be felt, things can be seen, things that people can impact, that can impact the life of people. Not people telling us. They are not things that can be felt. They are things that can be felt and can be seen.
So, okay, now, do you actually believe with when Mr. President said Nigeria was going bankrupt during, due to the fuel subsidy not being removed by the past presidents?
Nigeria has always been going bankrupt, according to them. Yeah, Nigeria look funny enough. Nigeria is a very wealthy nation, yet suffering in a lot of things. Now, don't forget that this same president Bola Ahmed Tinubu was one of the people that championed Save Nigeria, where Goodluck Ebele Jonathan led administration removed first subsidy in 2012. So he didn't know then, or is it just knowing that we're going bankrupt, or he decided to play politics with? That is the problem. We play a lot of politics with everything. And look, President Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu likes playing politics, and that's just my problem with him. He plays politics with almost everything. He's not taking things seriously. He's always trying to play together. He's trying to play politics. Everything try to play politics. Because if he's now saying that Nigeria will have gone bankrupt because of subsidy, then he owes Nigeria an apology. He needs to apologize to Nigerians for demonizing Goodluck Ebele Jonathan administration, because we know he said they shouldn't remove it. They shouldn't remove it. He's the head of Democrats, and a self-appointed head of the Democrats in Nigeria. So he should apologize to Nigeria for misleading them. And by apologizing to Nigeria, he needs to do more than talking.
Okay. Now, looking at it from this angle now, they said first subsidy, when, first subsidy is being removed, there'll be a lot of supplies. Obviously, we actually have a whole lot of crude right now, and then despite the fact that the NNPC had witnessed a decline in the month of February and March, but still we have crude. So now, the removal of subsidy was said it will help Nigerians to be able to have enough, and then we'll be able to have it at affordable price. So was the removal of subsidy a plot to make Nigerians buy more? Because currently now in Abuja, there are lots of queues, even in NNPC filling station, people can't afford fuel, there's hike in transportation. Now, was this a political game or plot for Nigerians to, buy fuel at a high rate?
Like I said, right, the president or this present administration, they've constantly done things in a very funny way. There are times when you look at what they've done, economically speaking and um patriotically speaking, some of them are fantastic policies. No, don't let us just criticize without seeing the things. But I guess it's the way they've implemented all these things they've been doing that they've gone wrong about it. But they probably have ideas. They know what they want, or they have idea of what they want to do, and they don't know how to implement them, and they rush into them because they're looking for low hanging fruit. They want to be praised. They are really not thinking of, okay, how do we actually implement this for long time basis? Because anything you do in a country like Nigeria or in a democracy like ours to be something that has a long time effect and a long time benefit. Not just
Mm,
something everybody was going to hail you, hey, or hey, you've done well. And I think that's what is killing them. They are looking for public praise, not really looking for the quality of things they've done. Because the truth is, if they've done what they needed to do, they will know that this thing happened in phases. If you remember, I keep referring to Jonathan administration, when they wanted to remove subsidy, which was started by the late Musaya Adua's administration, the first thing they did was introducing the retail arm of the NMPC. They
mm,
did the retail arm of the NMPC, by building mega stations because you see, first subsidy removal is a gradual process. Is the
mm,
way you do it because there is a ripple effect, there is a chain reaction to things you do, and there is a supply chain aspect of it. So they
mm-hmm,
were introducing the retail arm of the NNPC with all the mega stations, in first having them in all the state capitals, try having them in all the local government capitals, then they bring them down, they know that there will be an issue of you not being able to regulate the prices, but at the NNPC cost or at the NNPC filling station, they know which is government owned, they know how to get the fuel there at the minimum, which in business analysis we call the MVP, the minimum viable product, to get
mm-hmm,
them there at minimum price and all that. Those are the things they should have done. So I wouldn't say it is going to be wrong if I'm saying without proof, if I'm saying that they actually did that because they wanted Nigerians to buy at high price. I wouldn't say that. It will be unpatriotic of me to say that,
mm-hmm,
especially if I don't have my proof. But
mm-hmm,
they might not have done it the right way, and the way they've done it, they've actually now put the nation and the people of the nation in hardship in their quest for quick hailing and for street hailing, not for the quality, but they just did it for the quantity.
mm. Okay. Given the challenge that we have now in Nigeria in terms of electricity and, a whole lot of businesses depend on power for us to be able to, sell, for businesses to roll. So now, and we are having challenges. We have challenges with the electric sector, with the power sector, where there's a hike now in tariff price, and a whole lot of persons are beginning to complain that they don't even get the amount of lights that they were promised at band A, as those handling band A, those that are in line with band A that are supposed to get more power. Now, how does this affect, and now the fear now there's no subsidy, subsidy has been removed, and now we are, how does this affect business, that is private investors and those who are handling business locally?
Let's say, right? This this administration, they've been engulfed with the shenanigans public praise. They've been engulfed with the fact that they wanted people to hail them, people to talk about them, people to say they are good even when they are not good. So they've been engulfed, and that engulfment is killing them off. But because now there are a lot of questions to answer, right? There are a lot of
Mm-hmm,
things to do. If they have done things in phases, all these things you are saying will have been taken care of. If you want to take out fuel subsidy, okay, what have we done in time of power? What kind of power are we using? We are in a country like Nigeria. I wonder why our generation, look, our power generation in Nigeria is about 80%. I know it's minimum of 70% hydro. Why should we depend on hydro? What happened to wind farms? What happened to solar energy? We are rich in uranium. We know we are rich in that. Why are we not looking at those alternative energy and alternative power? I have a friend. I have a friend like a brother. We've been friends for years. We're in Nigeria together. We moved together. Look, he's a fantastic boy. I remember when we were in Nigeria, he would just do baptism for himself. He had his baptism power is his family house, probably diesel power about diesel, and we know how it for him to get. So what happened to other people? Why we not look at nursing this alternative energy? Why we not? Do you get what I'm saying? We
Yes.
didn't do all these things, and they didn't do all these things. They ran into it, remove subsidy. They ran into it, increase electric tariff. You see, yes, I know what they were doing. You see, they removed subsidy from fuel and they've gone to subsidize something else. So they couldn't even have anything to do. You see, if you want to actually remove a lot of subsidy, what you do is, you see, when people talk about companies and all that, allow, see, the Dangotes of this world, the dollars of this world, the global comes of this, or sorry, the Adenugas of this, so I don't want to mention that company, sorry, because it's not a paid advert. You know what I'm saying? Don't get to happen, don't get to empower a nation, don't get to help the economy of nation. They are just one of everywhere in the world. What they do, any economy or any government that is intellectually mobile and upright will know that for an economy to grow, you must stimulate the SMEs because that is where you do that. Those are the people that can take in all those cottage companies that can take in that have 10 staff, 20 staff, 50 staff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The medium small scale businesses that can do that. And now what happened to Nigeria? The medium small scale businesses in Nigeria are dying off. Why? Because they can't afford to do the day to day running. The overhead cost is expensive and they're dying off. So we are waiting for the mega companies, and these mega companies can make the Nigerian economy go if if this administration know what they are doing. And like I've said over and over, every time I come here, every I'm in other platforms, I tell them if they are confused, they should reach out to people. We have a lot of us out there. We have a lot of people like me. We have a lot. Reach out. We'll tell you the template. We'll tell you what to do, and let them not think that we just come to criticize them. And if you've noticed, we try not to criticize wrongly. We try to give constructive criticism. We're just trying to tell them there are things you can do better. There are things and way you can do this thing better. And even the street hailings you want, you will get them even in higher way if you do them right.
Looking at the hike now in electricity, subsidy removal, naira devaluating, do you think that Mr. President's restructuring plan is under control?
Like I said, all the things he has done, subsidy removal, hike in electricity, because what the other hike means is they've just removed or reduced that subsidy from electricity and naira devaluation. All these things and floating, all these things are fantastic economic policies, right? But how were they done? How were they faced in? So the process of how these things were being implemented is what is faulty. If they've done them in the right way, believe me, they are fantastic economic policies. And you know, people need to understand, and this administration need to understand too, that what you read in economic textbooks, theoretical models are not the same as practical models. And the fact that it worked in country A does not mean it's going to work in country B. You must learn how to domesticate every economic policies that you are implementing. So because it works somewhere, you don't just bring and duplicate it. That's why I have a problem with a particular man, a particular candidate of a particular party that will tell you this is what is done in China, this is what is done in Rwanda, this is what is done. No, every policy, every economic policy must be domesticated. Not just economic policy, every policy in life must be domesticated. You must understand the terrain. You must understand the culture of where you are before you implement any policy.
Okay. About the approach now of applying all of these policies now, what do you think is the best approach for Mr. President and his administration to, take in, to be able to like see to the restructuring plan that he has, bringing all of that to light and not making Nigerians suffer at the end of the day?
Okay, thank you. You see, the Mr. President, look first, I need to hear to Nigerians that there's nothing good that come easy. For all of us, for those that have seen raw gold, nobody wants, look, you don't like a raw gold until it is refined and shaped into other things. Even diamond, when you see them, they're just there. They're not fine until they've gone through the furnace, gone through the purification process. For some of us, that is sciences. We understand what I mean by
Mm,
that. And before it come out beautiful. So Nigerians should, I'm pleading to Nigerians, it won't be bed of roses in the first stages. They should please understand that it's going to be tough at initial stages, but the end point will be great. And because every these countries, most of us like mentioning and pointing out, look, these countries have gone through their rough patches and they got to where they got to. So what the present administration needs to do is pause a bit, think, get people that can help them think better. Okay, this is what we want to have. Get people to help them strategize this thing, people that are strategists to help them think about these things, have a good think tank that can bring these policies for them. And now start implementing them now. And they need to cut on some of the things. Like I've said before, you know, the last time I was there, I told you we wanted to do student loan. We had no business doing student loan now. Not because it's not important. It is important. Believe me, it's a very important thing because everybody must have access to education. But student loan is not because when you sink in trillion of naira, how do you tend to get back these funds? Because when the people who go to school, they don't even have jobs to do. You can't
mm,
start asking for refunds. And for some that are a bit lucky, they get out of the country. How do you repatriate your funds? They're not going
mm,
to pay. You must actually have an economy that can give at least 70% or 80% of them jobs where paid for them to be for you to now start recovering this fund so that you won't be injecting funds all the time. You can just be turning over what you have and be rolling it over and over again. That is what we need to do. And trying to subsidize people going for Hajj, people going to Jerusalem. You have no business subsidizing that. Billions of naira being wasted in time of subsidizing Hajj and Jerusalem pilgrimage for people. It is wrong. That is not the policy. We are a secular nation. We are not a religious nation. We are not a nation. We are not a Christian or a Islamic nation. We are a secular nation first, and our constitution is a secular constitution. We have no business subsidizing people going for Hajj or people going for Jerusalem pilgrimage. So we need to understand that what we need to do are the things. Then we now need to look at our SMEs. What is happening in our SMEs? You see big companies, you see mighty companies being able to access loans, banks begging them to come take loans. Why these SMEs look for loans and the loans are not coming. And now we can actually now implement another thing. If you don't want to give them money, what happened to Nigerian government having a partnership with countries like China, with Indonesia, with Vietnamese, and having this arrangement with them. Look at the guys in Aba that have a good way of producing anything that they can produce. And you have, instead of giving them the money, you give them the equipment. The guys in the Navy, we know what they can do. Instead of giving them the money, you give them the equipment. The guys in Ondo doing cocoa farming and all that. Instead of giving them the money, you give them the equipment and tell them what to pay back. The guys in Kano with irrigation farming, you give them the equipment. So these are the things the government should be looking at. If you don't even have the money, go into partnership with these countries. And all these loans we go to collect too. Like we go in happy hand begging for money and all that. You see, China will give you loan, and the loan they are giving you, the money is not even coming to your economy. We should sit down, like I said, we strategize, have a think tank, have a way of doing these things, and come forward with better policies.
yeah. You just looking at the loans now that have been collected by the past administration and this present administration. Most of those loans are actually set to go into palliative. Now, isn't this making Nigerians being palliative minded instead of this administration looking for ways for this money should go back, be pumped back into the economy for like you rightly mentioned, a whole lot of producers. We have a whole lot of producers in Aba, Kano, Newi, and such. Isn't this loan supposed to go back into the Nigerian economy so that we can given the fact that Mr. President said Nigeria is going bankrupt, so given the fact that he said we are going bankrupt, so with all these loans now, we need to go back to the Nigerian economy so we can be able to come out from this recession that we are facing.
Yeah, thank you. See, that's what I'm saying. We take loan and we put them in palliatives, right? And the palliative that you are giving, yeah, go eat rice, go eat corn. You get what I'm saying?
Mm,
So how do you want to pay back? But if you take loans and we put them and the money really comes and we decide to open cottage companies or agricultural firms,
mm,
open big farms. Sorry, let people let it engage, let the money go into a business and generate income. And at the same time, those who are giving palliative are meaningfully engaged and are being paid. They will not be needing your palliative. That is how a government or an administration that is wearing thinking cap does, And I understand that this is not just starting from this administration, it has always been, it has always been from longer, from years, from past and all those, but it can be corrected. It started somewhere and we can stop it somewhere. We can start correcting it. It is never late or never. We can't continue in the same way. We are not insane set of people that will continue to do this thing the same way and expect different result. If we expect different result, we need to go different route and go different way about it. We really need to now start thinking. This administration needs to now start thinking. See, a lot of people believe in it. You see, the Nigerian government need to understand. Maybe we need to go and learn something from our brothers in the southeast. Why do you think Inewi has colony, or now let's go to Anambra as the colony of the wealthiest set of people in Africa? Why? Because they've mastered the apprenticeship system. What are they doing? We need to go and learn that. Learn it. Let the government go and learn it. Study it, like we said, and understand how it is done. We need to learn how to create. We cannot keep consuming and not producing. We cannot keep consuming. We cannot keep importing. We must learn how to produce and to export. We must learn how to create value, because we are not creating value when we do palliative. People are just eating. It is
and getting
annoying and it
fat.
is pathetic when our people, all they want is just to eat, and that is not what it is. We should be able to be productive. And the people asking to eat is not their fault. They're asking for to eat because they've been frustrated and all they just want to do is eat. We should get to the level where people are now thinking of, can we produce, what value are we bringing in, and how can we be of help to developing the nation?
Okay. Mr. President, given the fact that today is Workers' Day, right? So this administration has increased you know, the salaries of civil servants to about 70,000 naira. So what's your reaction to that? Do you think it's coming at the right time? And do you think 70,000 naira it's okay now as a minimum wage for civil servants?
It is coming at the right time. Okay, being okay is relative, because we need to understand. If you ask the government to be paying minimum wage of 1 million, where would they get the money from? See, we need to tell ourselves the truth, and they can't keep borrowing money to pay salary. It doesn't make sense.
Mm,
Right. And now, so it is relative, like I said, it is okay. There's an increase, yes, because at least to an extent to do something. Now, at the same time, to the civil servant, you see, we can't keep blaming government and keep blaming government. Have you been to a typical civil service office in Nigeria? You go to some civil service office in Nigeria, and somebody is having a leg or his leg on the desk and breaking melon. Some are eating goro. Some are gisting. They gist away. What are they bringing into the system? A lot of them bring, believe me, a lot of them bring great values to the system. Why a lot of them do nothing, and they just want to be in the payroll. They come to office. Yes, some come to the office. Some don't even come. Why those that come just come to show face? So they show face, and what are they doing? Is it just to show face? What is the value? What have they contributed into to uh to revenue generation, to improving the service? You go to a civil service office in Nigeria and you want something done. Somebody talk to you rudely and they don't even care about how you feel. They talk to you rudely. They're not bringing value in. They just want to be paid. So we can't keep blaming government. You must bring value. When you
mhm.
bring value, it will come. Because at the end of the day, if you are able to bring value, the wealth of the nation will grow and the nation can increase the what they call it, the minimum wage. Like I said, the minimum wage might not be enough, but it is a good step in the right direction. But when you tell them to pay millions as minimum wage, where would they get it? We want them to continue to borrow. and people will tell you, oh, Nigeria has money, Nigeria has money. Where is the money coming? Some people can't be working to produce value for the money to come. Why some only come to the office, lie, they put their leg on their tables and break melon and gist away and eat goro. No, we must learn how to be collective in helping Nigeria grow.
Mm. Okay, 70,000 now as minimum wage. Cost of, the bag of rice now is around 60 something thousand naira, and hike in transportation and all. A lot of persons are reacting to the fact that that amount is actually very, very, poor, and they expected the government to do more. Well, let's give it that is a step in the right direction, that this administration is even having thought to increase minimum wage. So now, in terms of restructuring, what else do you think that Mr. President should do, or what other aspect does he need to pay more attention to be able to revamp Nigerian economy from crumbling? Because right now the economy has, crumbled, and then the currency is, devaluating on a daily basis. So what angle should the president pay more attention to, or maybe look outside from the normal that we have, which is oil and agriculture? What else do you think the government can pay more attention to be able to revamp our economy?
For quick one, like we said, Sam, when you come to work today, you know you are producing today, and you produce today, you brought value to your office, right? You are
Yes.
going to be paid. So if civil servants are thinking the government should increase salary, they should think of what they've done. Have they justified the pay they were paying for the day? That is to answer that. And for way to help improve Nigerian economy, you see, the government can do a lot of things. No, our over dependence on oil is beginning get someone like me upset, because in the nearest future, fossil oil will be gone. A lot of countries all over the world are reducing their fossil oil. Everybody is going to electric vehicles. Some are going to hybrid. Everybody going to alternative energy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, who will now be buying our oil? Are we going to be having issues? So we need to understand that, and we need to do. We need to diversify agriculture. We have coal. We have iron ore. We have a lot of things, and most importantly, we have the human resources. Nigeria is well endowed when it comes to human resources. We need to tap into our human resources. We need to understand how to bring the best. Like I said, if they need to set up a committee, if they need to gather people, they should do that and stop wasting money on those unnecessary committees, and actually sit down and
Mm.
gather some people, call some people together, let them be somewhere, a committee of 5, 10, 20, it depends on what they think, lock them up somewhere, let them think of way to bring Nigeria out of this quagmire.
Mr. Senate President Godswill Akpabio created a 45 committee members in February 2024 in line with restructuring. So what do you think? What's your reaction to that? Do you think he's following through with the vision of Mr. President, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Is that committee headed by, you're talking about the committee that was formed in February,
Yes.
that is being headed by the deputy Senate leader, right?
Senate, yes.
By Senator Jubri Barrow. Look, you see, that is just, you see, it's just another thing. It's a jamboree. They've been doing that since 1999. Every Senate since 1999, every National Assembly since 1999 have been forming committee on constitutional review and all that and everything. But believe me, we've already done that before. The the the, the administration of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan had a national confab, and I think that national confab is what we should go. And if I'm to advise, I will advise that everyone, all I expect Senator Akpabio should have done was to call for the adoption of that national confab. In
Mm.
him and the Speaker of the House of Rep call for that national confab, look at that national confab report and see what can be implemented, if not everything be implemented. Because believe me, Nigeria will just need to do that national confab, because there need to be a renegotiation, a rediscussion about the Nigerian state, and look at everything about Nigeria. And I think the national confab that was heard by President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is indeed, because that confab covered a lot of people across different sectors, across different demography. That is what they need to look at, not this jamboree. They are just going to do another jamboree. The time finish, another Senate will come, they will set up their own another job. It's just a waste of money. They're just going round in a circle.
These jamborees, like all of these communities now are being set up, and then obviously whenever they sit, there might be, a certain X amount that will be paid for, some arrears and benefits that will be received, which is actually part of the things that we've been crying and then clamoring for a change in terms of putting resources into the right things that need to be done. So the SMEs now are like basically the key guys that is going to help revamp Nigerian economy. So how can this administration help those SMEs get to the level? Because now, instead of SMEs to be growing, most of them are locking up and then crumbling because of the hike in electricity price, fuel subsidy, and a whole lot of hiccups that is causing them to like close up shop. So now, how can this administration, help out in revamping these SMEs and let them not just end up closing up shop because of the current hike in a whole lot of things going on?
Like I said, you see, when I was talking before, I said if they think they don't have the funds to give, Nigerian government can go into partnership with a lot of people. You see somebody that has a barbering shop that has about maybe 10, 20 barbers, and he knows that in his 10, 20 barbers, he's taking care of 20 people. They might be breadwinners of their homes. All right. So what do they do? You can decide to do a lot of apprenticeship, a lot of empowering them, go into partnership with some companies and some countries or companies in some countries and get barbering equipment to Nigeria, get it at cheaper price, give it to these barbers or these proprietors and let them run it and give them a consensus in time of electricity, make sure that they get at least during the work hours or during the day or during the peak hours, I think are peak hours, electricity is there and all that. There are a lot of ways to do this thing, equipment loaning instead of financial loan, give them loan or with equipment, knowing that truly they're going to put the equipment into use and all that, give them a mandate of the number of people they need to take, give them a mandate of what you expect their turnover to be in time of training people. And do you get what I'm saying? These are the things they need to do, give equipment, give all these, and ensure that you have a call a forum, make it accessible for them, open special trust funds in bank of industry, in some commercial banking or where they can easily have easy access to loan and just look at what you want to just ensure that their business plan is original, is new and all that. And that is the way to go about it.
Mm. Okay. Now, do you think the National Assembly is running with the vision of Mr. President? Because every remodeling, every law or every hike, everything has to go through the National Assembly. So now, with the fact of Mr. President wanting to restructure Nigerian economy, do you think the National Assembly is running with this vision in the sense that whatever is being passed to them, they tend to just approve and then it goes boom like that? So do you think they are running with his vision and not thinking about
In a
Nigerians generally?
No, in a way, but we're expecting something different because in a democracy like Nigeria, where we see it has happened past and presently, where the president of the nation will be interested in who become the Senate president and the Speaker of the House of Rep. It is appalling because that shouldn't be. They are meant to work together, but they are meant to work independently. But in Nigeria, we've seen them not done that. We've seen the Senate presidency always doing what the president wants, the speaker always doing what the president wants. They need to disagree. They need to disagree to agree, and they need to agree to disagree. Like the thing might go. So it's in a way you might say they are running with his vision. In a way they might not. They might be doing more harm than doing good, and in a way they might be doing more good than doing harm. It depends on how you look at it and from where you're looking at it from.
Mm. Okay. Please, can you give us your last take about, what the president should do in line of, actualizing his restructuring plan?
Okay, what I would say the president to do in line with structuring in his structuring plan is that he needs to be holistic and he needs to be true with himself. He needs to have the political will and stop dancing to the gallery and stop all the shenanigans. He should face business. He know what to do and he should do them and stop all this looking for low hanging fruit. He should look for a long term lasting solution to the Nigerian problem. And like I said, if it is hooked and if it's stuck, he should reach out to say what makes someone a good leader, which he was known for while he was governor of Lagos, was learning how to call good heads and brilliant minds come work with him. He needs to do that, and that will really help him and his administration to to excel if he wants, because the capital if he really means what he is saying.
Mm. All right, we don't have so much time on our side again. This is how much, time can permit us to take today on Midday Discourse. So any last word for, those at home, celebrating Workers' Day?
I, I wish every person, everybody at home, be Workers' Day, and I pray for greater Nigeria and for all of us. God bless the workers of Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Larry Toluhi. We really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us today on Midday Discuss. And
Thank you.
that's Larry Toluhi, who is an economist and also a public affairs analyst who has thrown more light on what Mr. President, angles Mr. President should look at in terms of restructuring and achieving his plan. SMEs should be invested in. Policies should be set aside already, but the major challenge that we're facing now is for those policies to be seen through by those that are supposed to see them through, so that all of this restructuring plan of Mr. President can actually come to light. There is hike in electricity, there is fuel queues, and then there's almost a hike again in fuel, pump prices. So all of these are things that those policies that have been set aside need to come pay attention and then see what is going on, and then food prices going up, transportation going up, policies that are put in place, excellent and beautiful policies. But now what we need is for those policies to be followed through to the end, and then see the fact that, okay, whatever that is being said is actually being followed through. The vision of the president needs to be, be in line with the National Assembly, and if that is in line with National Assembly, those policies that have been set aside are meant to, follow through and see that everything that Mr. President has said during his campaign is actually coming to light. That's how much time will permit us to take today on Midday Discuss. My name is Samuel Odi, and happy anniversary to Global Television, happy anniversary to Midday Discuss, and happy Workers' Day to all Nigerians. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon.